Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. You and I are different. We're unique. Some people might say we're wrong. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the word unique means unusual and peculiar, but we've given it this glistening connotation. To be told you are unique is to be told you are special. The word different is versatile, but the word wrong has one distinctive connotation, a tone of disapproval, a tone of immorality. After hearing a strong voice proclaiming that who I am is wrong, the song Ooh Child by the Five Stairsteps was the only thing that got me through the day on Wednesday, April 8th, 2015. The words, things will get brighter, were my mantra. Every breath in was, ooh, child. And every breath out was, things are gonna get easier. Whether you think I am unique, different, or wrong, I am a human being. I am valuable, and so are you. No matter our differences, we are all of value. And we should treat each other with compassion and respect. We deserve to live in a much brighter world. Unique, different, wrong. What makes us different from each other? I can 100% guarantee that each person in this room has felt different in some way, almost every day of our lives. Our differences come in many forms. There are things that we've chosen, our opinions and beliefs, religious, political, ethical, moral, and then there are things we cannot change. Our age, race, sexual orientation, gender identity, disability, and to some extent, physical appearance, among countless other things. So if we are all so different, why do we feel abnormal? Perhaps because historically, the diverse makeup of our culture has caused great turmoil. Almost 100 years passed between the abolition of slavery in 1865 and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, when segregation was deemed unlawful. That's nearly 100 years for the African American community to take a step toward respect in our nation. In a study following the racial landscape of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools in North Carolina, it becomes painfully obvious that desegregation has not been successful even 50 years later. The schools in this study are more segregated today than they were in 1954, perpetuating a trend of a lesser education for the African American community. But why did any of this happen in the first place? Because our predecessors decided that something that makes the Black community different, something that is out of their control, was wrong. This is not the world we should be living in. The Washington Times reports that just 1 year ago, on the eve of Passover, a white supremacist former KKK member opened fire on the Jewish Community Center and Village Shalom in Kansas City, killing 3 innocent people. This might sound like a radical instance, but he is not the only member of our society who has a derogatory view of a culture that differs from his own. This is not the world we should be living in. Sadly, the racial, religious, and socioeconomic prejudices that are present in our culture cannot be erased overnight. I believe the first step to reconciliation is to remember that we are all valuable and we all need to feel loved. We cannot go through this life alone. Did you know that it's possible to die from a lack of love? According to Science magazine, infants who receive little to no physical contact or affection are likely to develop severe illnesses and die because of it. It is in our genetic makeup to need to feel loved. This intrinsic need for acceptance is instilled in each of us, but somehow, acceptance is one of the most difficult things to find in the world we live in. When I was a kid, one of my favorite books was called We're All Alike, We're All Different. It was written by children from Cheltham Elementary for children, and it was full of imagery that celebrated diversity. It says things like, we are all alike, we are all people, we are all different, we do not look the same. This book teaches that the qualities that make each of us unique are not things to be ashamed of, that every life has worth. The eyes of a child may see differences, but But to the eyes of a child, those differences are not wrong. Not yet. We are all alike. We're all different. We all need to feel loved and valuable. In a press release for Zero Discrimination Day 2015, United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said, "Discrimination is a violation of human rights and must not go unchallenged. Everyone deserves the right to live with respect and dignity." The Springfield News Leader reports that on Tuesday, April 7th, 2015, 51% of Springfield, Missouri voters chose to repeal the sexual orientation and gender identity ordinance that would have allowed the LGBT community the right to live, work, and be publicly accommodated in the city of Springfield. The right to live with respect and dignity. On Wednesday, April 8th, 2015, for the first noticeable time in my life, I woke up in a world where I was deemed a second-class citizen. This was not the first time I've heard a voice in opposition to the LGBT community, but it was the first time that I, as a bisexual woman, had been directly affected by someone's opinion against what makes me different, what makes me unique, an opinion against something I cannot change, an opinion against my right to feel safe and comfortable in the world I live in. And I have to tell you, as someone who grew up as an outwardly, perceivably normal person, hearing such a strong voice telling me that who I am was wrong was harder for me than I had anticipated. Now, whether you voted no, yes, or neither, I'm not here to wage a war on this issue, but I am here to encourage each of you to think about the ways your voice and your opinions and your actions affect other people. This is not the world I want to be living in. When the recent results of the Missouri State University climate study were released, President Cliff Smart reflected on the values of MSU to the Springfield News Leader, saying, "We want to eliminate discrimination to the extent we can on any basis except merit." So what does that look like? What would the world look like if instead of prejudice, discrimination, and judgment, we found a positive way to interact with those who are different from us? If each of us woke up every morning and thought, "Today I will make a difference. Today I will be kind. I will treat others with respect," what changes will that make? With each new generation, society evolves. Children look to their role models to find how to navigate the world, how to think and act. Imagine the bright, positive light that will shine on generations to come if we, the young adults of the world today, make a conscious effort to progress, to support each other, to respect each other. Imagine the positive light that will shine on generations to come. That is the world I want to live in. That is the world I want you to live in. That is the world I want our youth to flourish in. Kiran Bedi of the Hindustan Times said, "We believe it begins with us. The teachers and parents, harbingers of life and living, we know the way. We are showing the way. We now wait for it to become a caravan." I want to walk through life and feel happy about who I am. I want to feel happy about the things that make me different, the things I can and cannot change. But more than I want it for myself, I want it for you and for future generations. So I'm going to make a conscious effort to send out love, compassion, and respect into the world we live in. I hope you'll do the same. Someday, we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday, when the world is much brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Thank you.